Hi everyone, welcome to week 1 of online research for college students. This week we will focus on information literacy and learn information about the layout of this course. This week we will introduce ourselves and review the syllabus. We will also discuss how to succeed in this course, learn about information literacy, discuss the project you will complete during this course, and briefly tour the library website. With that said, let me start by introducing myself. I'm Melanie Vincent, and I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. I have been a librarian at GHC since fall 2017. Before that, I worked in the tutorial center as a writing tutor for 2 years. I love working with GHC students and watching them succeed. One of my favorite things about teaching this course is watching students learn how to apply the information they learn here to other courses and areas outside of academics. You can also use this point in the lecture to introduce yourself. Please make a comment in Perusall telling me and your classmates who you are, your major or pathway, and what you are interested in doing once you earn your degree. Like you, I am also a student. Currently, I'm working on a second master's degree in archival studies. I know it can be a challenge to balance work, school, and life, but it's important to stay aware of your responsibilities and to communicate when things pop up. With that said, if you need to contact me about anything, please reach out to me via email. You can reach me at mvincent@highlands.edu. I'm available to answer questions or schedule appointments to discuss any questions or thoughts you might have about this course. I'm happy to meet you in an online format, or you can always visit me in my office on the Floyd campus in the library. I also have a chat box in our course in D2L. You can find it below the announcements on the home page. When the chat box is live, feel free to message me with any questions you have about the course. I also want to ask that you do not contact me using the internal email in D2L. Any messages sent this way will not go to my inbox, and I can't guarantee a timely reply. So please make sure to communicate with me via the Outlook email address listed above. Now I want to briefly review the syllabus, and before we get into the details, I want to show you where you can find it. So if you go to our course in D2L, click on Module 0, Getting Started. Here you'll find a lot of welcome materials available to you. If you click on the syllabus review, you will be able to view our syllabus in a platform called Perusall, which we will use throughout the semester. It will pull up the syllabus in Perusall, and you'll be able to scroll through it and look at the student responsibilities, assignments, and all of the other information in the syllabus. If you have any questions about something that is in the syllabus, highlight the text that you have a question about, and sometimes it can be a little bit finicky, so if you don't highlight the exact text that you're trying to, that's fine, but just highlight the text and then type in your question, and I will answer any questions you have about due dates or the layout of this course. You can also, in the Getting Started module, access a Word document version of the syllabus that you can download and print out as needed. So now that you know how to find the syllabus, I am going to go back to the PowerPoint, and let's talk a little bit about what it says in the syllabus. So important things to remember include assignments are going to be due at 11:59 p.m. or on Thursdays or on Sundays, depending on the type of assignment. Lectures will be posted by Monday at 9 a.m. every week, so make sure you're checking those out and watching those early in the week. I will also send you email notifications each week detailing what you will need to complete for the due dates each week. So keep an eye out for notifications in your email. I will also send out announcements in D2L weekly. We are going to cover a range of topics from citation styles to fake news to source evaluation over the course of this semester. And the way your grade breakdown works is pretty simple, actually. It's based on a 100-point scale, and every activity that you do is going to fall into one of 3 categories. You will have lecture reflections like you have this week, where you will be asked to make 3 comments based on props that I give you. In the lecture, you will comment in perusal and be graded on those comments for those 20 points. The next section includes quizzes and modules, where you will take 2 quizzes over the course of this class, and you will complete 3 different information literacy modules over the course of the class as well. The last component is the annotated bibliography, and you will actually be working each week after this week, of course, to complete this project. But I will talk to you a little bit more about the annotated bib later in this lecture. For now, I want to highlight the late assignment policy for this course. You'll be able to access this in the syllabus as well, but I want to remind everyone this is an 8-week course and it will go by quickly. It's important to keep up, especially since a lot of your assignments build on each other and you have to complete one assignment before you can move on to the next. And I also need to grade those assignments and provide you feedback so you can do the next assignment. If for some reason you cannot complete an assignment by the due date, you need to reach out to me before the due date so we can discuss alternative arrangements. If I receive late assignments 7 days or more after the due date without prior arrangement, you will receive a 0 for the assignment. This helps you and me stay on track with assignments for the semester. With that said, let's discuss ways to be successful during this course. This is an 8-week online course, so it's super easy to fall behind. I know because I've been there. I have completed 1 master's degree that was all online, and I'm working on my 2nd. It can be a struggle to keep up with online classes, work, and life. So it's important to know when assignments are due and to build in time to your schedule to complete those assignments. If you don't do anything else, keep a calendar, either physical or digital, that allows you to keep track of due dates. I live by my Outlook calendar because it allows me to set notifications for upcoming assignments, appointments, and other responsibilities that I have. Make sure to log into your email and check it regularly. I will send you weekly updates and email you about assignments. It's important to keep an eye out for emails from me and other professors here at GHC throughout the course of the semester. Lastly, make sure you take the time to watch the lecture each week. Some weeks you will be responsible for completing lecture reflections, like this week, and in other weeks the lectures contain important information that will allow you to correctly complete assignments and provide you with the information you need to complete quizzes. Now that we've gone through the ins and outs of the course, let's talk about this week's topic, information literacy. Becoming information literate is important for everyone, but what is it? Let's start with the basic definition here that's provided from Skyline College. Information literacy is the ability to find, evaluate, organize, use, and communicate information in all its various formats, most notably in situations requiring decision making, problem solving, or the acquisition of knowledge. It is a combination of research skills, critical thinking skills, computer technology skills, and communication skills. Information literacy is essential for academic success, effective functioning in the workplace, and participation in society as knowledgeable citizens. There's a lot going on in this definition, so let's break it down further. Information literacy is the ability to find information. Before anything else, you need to know where to look for the information you need. Are you looking for information that will be in a book, or is it more likely to be in an academic journal, a newspaper, or a blog post? This is something that we will discuss further as the semester goes on. Information literacy is also the ability to evaluate information. We will spend 2 whole weeks talking about the importance of evaluating information. We can trust every bit of information that we find. No, we cannot. We have to be able to identify accurate information and red flags that indicate that the author is trying to mislead us. It's also important to be able to organize information. Over the course of this semester, you will do research on a topic that you will pick out next week. In order to tell others about that topic, you will need to be able to organize the information you find. What is the most important information that you need to get across to your audience? What can be left out, and in what order does it make sense to present this information? These are all questions you will ask yourself as you work through the assignments this semester. You also need the ability to use the information that you find. You might find out that checking an author's credentials is a good way to evaluate a source, but how do you want to use this information? Do you look up the author's credentials yourself through a web search? Do you want to share this information with family and friends to help them learn more about the information they encounter? These are different ways that you could use that piece of information. Lastly, information literacy also involves the ability to communicate information. We live in a world that provides us with many platforms to communicate. We can share the information we find by posting on Instagram, creating a TikTok, writing a paper, or through various other formats. It's important to think about who you are trying to reach and why. If you are trying to inform your friends and family about a new article that you read, posting it to Twitter might be a quick way to communicate that information. But if you are trying to share information you found with your professor and classmates, a speech or an essay might be a better way to get that information across, depending on your audience and the information need. Information literacy is also used in a variety of situations. We use our information literacy skills when making decisions. In order to make any decision, we need accurate information. We first have to find and evaluate that information before we can come to our own conclusions. We might also need to communicate that information with others if a decision is being made by a group of people. Similarly, information literacy is used when solving problems. Again, we need to be able to find information to solve a problem. What caused the problem? How did it come about? What is needed to fix the problem? And what answer do we need to solve it? Once we have our answers, we need to use the information that we find and communicate it to others in order to problem solve. Lastly, we use information literacy skills to acquire knowledge. If we have questions, the first thing we do is look for information. In other words, we find the information we need to answer our question. We also have to evaluate and organize the information we find in order to best understand the situation. Lastly, information literacy is a combination of different skills. Being information literate means using research skills to find and use the information that's needed. It also means using your critical thinking skills to organize the information in a way that makes sense to you and others. In today's society, it also means having an understanding of computer technology so we can search a website and also create digital artifacts that allow us to share the information we find with others. Which is a great transition to the last skill, communication. Communication comes up a lot when discussing information literacy because it's so important. We must be able to find ways to communicate the information we accumulate and communicate that information in clear ways that don't mislead others. Part of being information literate is knowing how to wisely, safely, and ethically share information. If we communicate misleading or harmful information, that can lead to people getting hurt or confused. Being information literate means that we have a responsibility to others to check the information we share beforehand, and we should provide people with updates as information that we've previously shared evolved. This is just the surface of what it means to be information literate, and information literacy is a term that we will come back to all semester long. So we have a detailed definition, but why does information literacy matter? For one, the world is producing more information than ever before, and we have so many ways to disseminate or share that information. With all the information available to us, the quality of that information is not always trustworthy and sometimes can be created to intentionally mislead us. We must be able to see signs that information is misleading or inaccurate. Take a moment to think about these questions and respond in perusal with your thoughts. The first question, think about who you trust and how did you decide to trust them. Also, think where you routinely go to find information and why is that your go-to place to find that information. Lastly, think about how we interact on social media. Do you get a lot of your news articles and ideas shared by your friends and family on social media? Is it okay to have this be our main way to learn about current events and other information? If not, why is it important to look elsewhere? You don't have to answer every part of that question or every single one of those questions, but I do want you to take a moment and respond to the questions that I just asked here in perusal. Being information literate means you have the tools and understanding to better navigate the information age. You can more easily identify fact from fiction, and you can be more responsible when sharing information with others. Now that we have an overview of information literacy, let's talk about the main project we will be working on in this course. It's called an annotated bibliography. An annotated bibliography is just a fancy word for a document made up of source citations and source summaries / evaluations. This semester, you will work to put together an annotated bibliography that looks at 4 sources that you find on a single topic. You will complete a small portion of this assignment in an activity that's due each week in this course. Starting next week, you will pick a topic and pick out keywords that will help you find information on your topic. The next week, we will talk about how to find web sources, and you will locate several web sources on your topic. The next week, we will look at where to find academic sources, and you will locate a few. Then the next 2 weeks will be spent evaluating some of the sources that you found. Then the following week, we will learn about citations, and you will create citations for 4 of the sources you previously found. The last week of the course, you will combine the citations and the source evaluations you created in previous weeks to form your complete annotated bibliography. This might sound like a lot, but I promise it's not scary when you approach each piece individually, like we will be doing during this course. I have included a document outlining each assignment in D2L under Module 1 so that you can look ahead. I advise you not to work too far ahead because I will provide you with feedback after you complete each portion. That will be needed to complete or improve the next piece of the assignment. If you have any questions about the assignment, please reach out to me. I am here to answer any questions that you might have. Quickly, I would like to show you what a completed annotated bibliography might look like so you have an idea of what you'll be working towards this semester. So this is an example of an formatted annotated bibliography in MLA style, and I will talk you through this entire process, so don't be frightened. You will have a header at the top that includes your name and course information. You will also have your last name and a page number on each page of the document. It should start with your research question, have a title saying annotated bibliography, then you will have a citation followed by a paragraph that discusses that article or book, where it'll discuss the source that you chose. And you will have 4 of these in your assignment. This one I think is slightly longer, but this just gives you an idea of what your final product will look like. And I will walk you through every step of this process. Lastly, I want to briefly give you a tour of the library homepage because you will be using this information to help you complete several different assignments this semester. You can access the GHC Library homepage from the Highlands website. The quickest way is to click on Quick Links, and then under Helpful Links, click on Library. This will pull up the library homepage. Front and center, you will see Galileo Access, which you will be using to search for articles this semester. There is also a link to the book catalog where you can search for physical and ebooks. We have a video and images tab that links out to the different video databases that we have here at GHC. And the last tab is a guides tab that has assignment guides and topic guides that you might use at various points in this course and for assignments in other courses that you have. We also have the Ask a Librarian chat. So in other classes, if you're doing research and you have questions about how to find a resource, feel free to ask the librarians any questions that you might have. It's outside of normal business hours, so our chat is currently offline. If you ever have questions about when the library is open, you can go over to the left side of the page here under library hours and look at the day's hours. If you click view all hours, it will show you the hours for the week. Because Monday starts a new semester, we don't have them filled in yet, but those will be populated sometime tomorrow. So that's just a really brief intro to some of the resources available to you in the GHC library, but we will go over it in more detail when we discuss academic resources in later weeks. That wraps up our first lecture. If you have any questions, you can comment on this lecture in Perusall, post in the questions discussion board in D2L, access my chat box in D2L, or send me an email at mvincent@highlands.edu. I look forward to our semester together. Have a great week.